We said earlier that the vibration of a problem and the vibration of a solution are very different. You can breathe into the solution. The problem strangles you. You dance your way into the solution. You just stumble and fall and hurt yourself when you're focused. But you had to know the problem. Just don't make a career out of fixing the problem that can't be fixed. You can't fix a problem. You can only find a solution. You cannot fix a problem. You can only find a solution. They're different. It's very different. And your inner being has already found the solution, knows all the pieces of it. The pieces that are relevant to you knows right where they are and is saying, come on over here, come on over here, come over here. And if you have been practicing following good feelings, then you're on the trail of that. And when you see it, it will surprise and delight you. You'll see it in places you didn't even know it was. We have the benefit of understanding the unequivocal law of attraction. We have the benefit of knowing unequivocally the goodness of you and of everyone else. So we don't get confused by step one, because we understand it and adore it and want it and encourage it. You got to know that step one matters. Step one, ask. Life helps you to do that. Step two, answers. Not your job. Step three is your job. Line up with the solution rather than rail against the problem. Now, sometimes railing against the problem makes it bigger, but it gives you more insight, because sometimes there's a lot of things that problem can help you understand that you want. There are lots of facets to a problem. And so the more you poke around at it, the more another rocket and another rocket. Haven't you noticed how there's a lot of things that are produced from your awareness in something, from your attention to it? The more attention you give to it, the more you'll be able to examine it and know what you prefer. So we have some questions for all of you. These are big questions, and don't stress over the answers. Just let yourself feel for them. Do you like to choose? Do you feel like it's natural to want to choose? Do you think that some should be allowed to choose and others not? So does it seem like a good idea that everyone really is choosing? Is it logical to you that sometimes people think they're making a choice because they're speaking words that seem like choosy words? Like I want, I need, I demand, I expect. They use strong words. But is it possible that someone could be using words to choose when it's not words that choose? So is it possible that a lot of people are really asking for things that their words don't match? So they want to feel good, but they're screaming their lungs out at some injustice. If you saw someone in the street bleeding, we are certain that you would go help them in whatever way you could. But when you see someone in the street railing against something or screaming about something or disapproving of something, sometimes you don't feel like wanting to soothe them into their alignment. You just like to make them disappear from the earth. But what you really want to do is step away from what you can't soothe and soothe what you can, and trust that they're asking for soothing, and their path of least resistance for their soothing is always going to be different than your path of least resistance for your soothing. You all are going to get so good at knowing that you're supposed to feel good and practicing getting there that things that used to seem like great big hairy horrible deals to you just won't bother you that much, because you're embracing the bigger picture. Do you believe in the goodness of life? Do you think that good is dominant? Oh. And so if good is dominant, and it is, doesn't that feel better than somehow by looking at a little pocket of unrest and deciding that all the good is gone and only bad is left? You're going to go on a vacation. You've picked Paris for your destination. You've got your tickets. You've got your hotel reservations. You've got your airline tickets lined up. You're all set to go. You go. You get up really early. You get that early flight. You have food on the airplane. You take a nap. You watch a movie. You get over there. And then you leave the airport and you get in a cab and you go to your hotel and you step out into a newly overflowed sewer. And you say, so this is Paris. But is it? Or is it just something that you stepped in that doesn't really represent everything that you're going for, and doesn't mean that you're not going to have a good time there? And yet so often when you step into something, and sometimes there's a lot of attention that's given to something, so it feels like you can't avoid stepping in it, but you always can. You get out ahead of it. You expect to see the good, and then your inner being guides you to where it is. And this is what is so ironic and really quite funny about the subject of looking for the good. The good is huge in comparison with the absence of it. It's huge. It's huge. You want to ask yourself, how did I get fixated on so much to worry about when there is so much obvious well-being that is surrounding me on this planet? Even in the middle of something that looks terrible, so much humanity comes forward. So many wonderful things happen.